went just expected. I mean, everyone else is there just playing for second. You know, I'm the best. I wake up and I piss excellence. It went really well. I actually underperformed in some of the events, but overall I was very happy. Came out in first place, came out with a little bit of prize money, the entry fee paid for, so I can't complain about that. It goes a long ways towards the trip to Daytona.
Most of your entry fee paid for?
Most of my entry fee. I wasn't gonna, most of the entry fee is paid for, but, you know, economy's rough, prices gotta go up, I guess. So as you can see, I'm sitting here with my new best friend. This is the Iron Cross. Actually our relationship started off great, but then it ended terribly at the competition when I blacked out, fell on top of the Iron Cross, weights went out. It was like a bad dream. I kept trying to reach for the weights and they just wouldn't come to me. Luckily the spotters loaders threw it back in there for me and I was able to finish still around 30 seconds. But it felt like I was on the ground for a solid 10 to 20 seconds. I guess it was just a couple of moments and I was able to regain my composure, finish the event, and came away with a great video. And really, the Iron Cross stole the show for everybody. I wasn't the only one that fell. A couple of them, I know, a guy broke his hand. A couple of girls, I think, busted their chin open on it.
Brutal.
One girl cut her hand on it. So this was definitely an event that humbled a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to show the bruises somewhere in this area. Let me go back. I want to start with the first event. So the first event was actively press. That actually went extremely well. I forgot to breathe for the first like 4 or 5 reps, but I guess I needed to make it more challenging for me.
A couple strict presses in there.
A couple strict presses, which I'm not good at strict press, so I don't know where that came from. It's overall 11 reps. I think that won by 2 reps. So, and in my mind, I underperformed that because in my mind I had 15 reps is what I wanted. Because we had done 11 in training, so I thought that was the minimum standard for that for me. But it is what it is. Came up with a win on that one. The next one, as we kind of mentioned before, this Iron Cross. It was a yoke Iron Cross medley. 8:05 down with the yoke, 3:25 back with the Iron Cross. Really had a solid time. I think I got the yoke down 50 feet in 7 seconds. Very respectable time. The run back was good. The transition was good. Picked it off the ground. And then about 10 feet away from the finish line, just lights out. But like I said, I think I finished 5th or 6th in that event, so not too bad. Next event with the deadlift, I know I had to make up some points here to keep my first place. The most I'd hit in training for 660 was 5 reps, and then we moved on, and I actually really shocked myself by getting 9 reps, which got me 2nd place overall in that event. After the deadlift, I was pretty worn down because the deadlift was the 3rd event. The 4th event was the sandbag, 2 sandbags down, sled drag, arm over arm sled drag back. Sandbag picks felt great. Run backs, not gonna lie, my legs were dead, so they're a little slow. But finished the event, finished first place in that event, barely making it. I think I beat Eric Carlson by less than half a second. So got a little lucky on that one. The next event was the final event, which was Sandbagger Shoulder. This is the one that I've been waiting for because in all the regional events, everybody has to do the Sandbagger Shoulder. Same setup, the same weight, so it's the perfect way for you to compare yourself to the other guys. There's still one more regional event to go, but out of the 2 regionals that have happened so far, I've got the fastest time.
Hey, judges ready, go! Make some noise for the last 60 seconds. I know you can make it. Let's go.
Let's go.
275, moving like it's nothing.
Get it up, baby. Come on.
300.
One more. Let's do it. Come on.
Stephen, go with the...
Wow.
Very happy with that. We ended with 21 seconds. I think Eric, who got second in that event, he ended with 23, and the guy behind him, I think, ended with 29. So really, we kind of separated ourselves from the pack of that event.
Twice giving him this medal right now.
out, and you'll see guys make up points here and there. And it's gonna be really close. I think this will be the biggest Worlds this year. I think COVID's passed us pretty much. Well, but definitely in Florida, it doesn't exist. I don't think it ever existed in Florida. But I think this will be the biggest one. I think the online qualifiers, they're bringing out a lot of static monsters.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how they adjust to these 7 events and not having a max event.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple of questions for my coach who didn't want to be in this video, but he really didn't have to say anything. So. In case y'all don't know, Derek Owens is my full-time coach. He's the closest thing I have to a live-in coach. Derek, will you do me a favor? We just got through talking about regionals and my performance. As a whole, how do you think everyone performed at regionals?
Everyone as a whole?
Yeah, like as a competition, like do you think it was a stat competition?
Yeah, absolutely. In comparison to, I'd say Mid-Atlantic, I don't want to directly compare it though, but yeah, I think the competition was far more stacked in SouthWest. I think we had almost all of the strongest open classes in Texas competing. So.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think we missed really anybody.
No.
That wasn't there that day, and I don't think they deserved it.
Yeah. There might have been a couple of guys that might be prepping for the Shaw Classic or something like that, so maybe they didn't get in. But I truly think the strongest guys in
Oh
Texas
yeah, I mean,
showed up.
Trey Mitchell and Gabe Pena did it though. I'm talking about the amateur scene. Yeah,
Well, so am I.
amateur,
I was talking
yeah.
about Austin down in South Texas.
He was there though.
He was there.
Made it.
He
so
is.
he
they
technically
did, yeah.
was there.
Yeah,
His performance wasn't as good as everyone else's. He was there though.
very true. So how do you think, so you're my coach, and I'm obviously a client, so I have to always listen to your advice. How do you think I did overall there? What needs to be worked on going into Worlds?
Timing your peak. You didn't even perform your best.
We were
You won still. So that says something. Even you not being at your best though. So we need to time things. You need to listen to me a little bit better.
100%. We were just
Yeah.
talking about I've got to quit making these rookie mistakes. I'm about to start my year 2, and those mistakes have to be eliminated.
Yeah.
So-
You gotta listen to I've already made the mistake, so you gotta just listen to me.
Learn
Yeah,
from
don't do my mistakes.
So you're also competing at Worlds. This will be the first time we get to compete under the same roof. What are your expectations for both of us?
Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be the biggest competition ever. I have no idea. I'm so scared. This is gonna be the biggest
For both of us.
competition ever in
Yeah.
the world.
You competed at Worlds last year. You did extremely well.
Yeah.
Top 10, ended up 7th in the world.
Yeah.
I know you have your sights set on being on the podium this year.
Yeah.
I competed at the Arnold, which was my first international competition earlier this year. Ended up getting 4th. So obviously I have my sights set on getting a podium in a big
Yeah.
international competition. But I think you're right. I think this will be the biggest one.
I don't know what to expect at all. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be traveling from across the world that couldn't last year because of COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's gonna happen. Any weight class, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Anybody who podiumed last year, there's no promises.
I got a question for you. The guys that did the regionals and the guys that are doing the online qualifier, who do you think has the advantage going into Worlds?
Man, I would have to say regionals. Anybody who competed at the regionals has far more of an advantage. A, because if they're in a class, they had to cut, which you have to cut for Worlds.
Yep.
The people that are doing the online qualifier, you're not getting that real that competition experience. So you're not mentally able to go to that place.
Yeah.
So it's just a totally different world. I'm hoping one day that the online qualifiers just never happen again. But I think if you ever just compete in a competition, the more you compete, the more experience you get. Anybody who competed at regionals is going to have a way bigger advantage than the people who just did online qualifiers.
I agree, and the online qualifiers are really geared towards the static monster guys.
Yeah. It makes it a lot. It's just easier as far as what people are capable of getting their hands on.
Yeah.
It's making it easier for people across the world to compete, though. But like I said, hopefully that doesn't happen next year and the following years. Hopefully that it'll, because the sport's obviously geared towards workload capacity. So these monsters that are doing really well in the online qualifier, their static strength is through the roof, but that doesn't mean anything in any of these competitions nowadays.
No, I mean, especially with 7 events, none of them are max events.
Yeah.
It's all going to come down to conditioning. I mean, conditioning for a strongman. It's going to be
Strength conditioning. Yeah.
Yes.
Being as strong as possible and being able to have as much gas in the tank.
Yep.